Good evening, peeps. My name is Scripps and welcome back to Monster Prom. Or should I say welcome back to another speed paint, but this one is gonna be Monster Prom related. You could almost call it just a delayed Valentine special of some sort because I didn't release anything this year. But, you know, the love can come at any time of the year. It doesn't have to be specifically Valentine that we can show our love and affection for each other's monstrous sides, which is what Monster Prom is exactly about. Embracing the monster inside each and every one of us. And also snorting coke and getting laid on prom night, but that's a secondary. Love is the main thing this is all about, baby. And in case you haven't actually seen my Monster Prom playthrough, then it's basically just a sad playthrough. It's a sad playthrough of a visual dating novel type of game where it takes me 3 entire playthroughs just to be able to get the one person that I like to like me back. Actually, that's not really true because I kind of restarted the first one by accident because I didn't know there wasn't any continue button, so that was kind of my fault. But I still did get like stood up and rejected once. All jokes aside, however, then it's basically just me doing a bunch of different voices for a bunch of different people and screaming so hard that my voice almost gives out. It's something special, and it's one of the games that I really like recording. So you can go watch it if you just want to watch me have a freaking grand old time. And the reason that I'm bringing up that playthrough is not only because it's Monster Prom related, but it's also because in the end of the actual Monster Prom game, and actually, you know, I think it was scattered kind of like throughout, there was kind of like this theme with Polaroid pictures, where most of like the fun lore and most of the fun universe would like be portrayed through. I even think you kind of looked through Polaroids when you were like doing classes, or you were partying, or like doing the different events you could do. I think that was all shown through Polaroids as well. So what I wanted to create was basically, I wanted to create a Polaroid, one of those Polaroids you saw hanging like in the ending of just some special event that happened or interaction between all the characters that wasn't actually seen in the game, but it's just kind of like background, I guess, semi-lore, if you could call it that. And then I wanted to, I didn't just want to take Blue. Blue is basically the Franken wife I played in the playthrough. I didn't want to just take her, I actually wanted to make my own character design and put besides Zoe the main eldritch cutie pie patootie. I think that's what we called her. And then the idea was basically just to take this Polaroid picture and make the picture itself and also my character really fit into that universe. Almost so like this character could be added as a DLC at any point. I wanted them to fit in as much as possible. I didn't want them to stand out in any way. And that was, I knew that required some effort from the onset. I knew that required that I actually drew everything and painted it and colored it and everything. But I did, however, not take into account that I had not been drawing for like half a week, or like a half a week up to a week, and that I was like, this was one of the days that I was really just having like a creative block, or like an artist block, like you know when your hand, if you're an artist, you'll know this, but when your hand does not want to cooperate with you, or your hand-eye coordination does not want to cooperate with you, all of a sudden, all that stuff you remembered about anatomy, it's totally gone. So I had to really experiment my way through, and this one drawing ended up taking 3 hours. Of course not in like a complete run. I think I was like listening to a bunch of different stuff. I wasn't completely focused all the way, but that's still a really long time. And in the end, it's still, I think it turned out for the better. I had planned that I was gonna do like a bunch of line work, like I was gonna draw up everything and make it look all nice and neat. But I actually think this sort of like just taking the sketches, the kind of sketchy stuff, because at first I drew the anatomy and that was too sketchy, so I drew another line of sketch on top of that. And I ended up just using that as kind of like my line work, and I kind of like it actually, because it has that kind of sketchy, fun style that Monster Prom has. Of course, it's a little more rough and badly drawn than the original, but I still think the picture ended up fitting in pretty well, especially as you can see like how all the space in the picture gets filled out, and especially with the finishing touches. In the finishing touches, you might not see this now, but in the finishing touches I add this white like border and even the text to really make it look like this Polaroid picture, and then I give it this warm filter to make it look all nice, and then it feels like it fits in the game, and I'm really proud of what it turned out to be. Even though there could be a few more characters in the background just to fill it out a little bit more. Speaking of the character design itself, however, then I wanted to stick to the rules that was kind of like made for Monster Prom, and that was basically just to take whatever kind of, I think you call them they're not mythological. Well, of course some of them are mythological creatures, but they're mostly like cryptids. I think that's what you call them. Basically, kind of like humanoid monsters in folklore, or some kind of culture reference or whatever. And then you try to make them fit into the high school scheme of things. So I was trying to find a monster that hadn't been done yet in the game, or that was already done in like different fan art, because there's a bunch of different fan art for the game, which does not surprise me. It's got freaking amazing art style, and it's very quirky and funny, and it doesn't surprise me that people have added those like kind of like spreadsheets where they almost do the exact same thing that I do, that they put their own character, except they put them in kind of like the dating picture. They basically take the picture that was already in the game and then just replace them with their own character, which I think is great. But I wanted to create something special, so I decided to go for what I haven't seen yet, at least, which was the Wendigo. I had not seen the Wendigo being made in any fan art of Monster Prom yet, so that's why I decided to go with it. However, I did not research a lot on the Wendigo, but I just assumed automatically that they were scared of water. So I don't know. I still haven't researched, by the way. It's not like I'm coming up to some conclusion, but I still don't know if they're scared of water or anything. I don't think that's canon lore or anything. And I don't know if they actually have clubbed feet. Is that what you call them? Like a horse or cow legs. Basically, I don't think they do. I think they just have like weird, bony, creepy legs. If you look up, I looked up a bunch of pictures of them, and that was basically it. There were a bunch of pictures of the Wendigo. They kind of had like a deer-shaped head. But that would be a little too far from the humanoid aspect to like make them fit into the high school scheme of things. So I mostly stuck to doing like bodily changes, although I did change her nose a little bit. I did make it a little bit more. I kind of got inspiration from like the movie Avatar, kind of like the Na'vi kind of animal, a kind of half animal-esque nose. But other than that, then I went for the kind of obvious like characteristics, like the horn, the long, spindly, hairy, strong, still at the same time strong arms, the club feet. All that are kind of, or I don't know if the club legs are actually like a characteristic of the Wendigo. I just went with it because I thought it looked cool. And it would give her more, it would enforce the idea that she's not good with water, which was kind of like what I wanted to show through this one picture. Personality-wise, I wanted to add some personality to this character as well, because all these characters, they might be monsters, but just through their clothing, what they wear and how they look, they got so much added to them. And I wanted to make the Wendigo actually sort of tomboyish. I wanted to make the hair even more tomboyish than it ended up being. It just ended up being sort of long. I wanted to do kind of like an undercut, kind of like Marceline from Adventure Time, but I thought that was too much, and the horns would look weird with the undercut. So the hair just sort of ended up in a limbo of like, I'm okay with it, but it could have been better. I could have maybe made it more tomboyish. But then I also I wanted to show her tomboyish personality by really getting the high school on and really giving her one of those, I don't know what you call them. I just know it's like a sports jacket. You see them in High School Musical and all those different like high school settings and movies. We don't have a normal high school or like American typical high school as this aesthetic clearly is going for. In Monster Prom. We don't have that in Denmark, so I just go off of whatever I have in my head, which comes from movies, and I see these like very big sports jackets, and that's what I wanted to give her basically. And I got that idea kind of from Kill la Kill as well, just to make her look even more tomboyish, and I think that was cool. I did give her a white shirt as well, but I thought it looked very plain. I basically tried to make her color scheme all seem, because all the characters as well have a very like their color scheme feels very well together. Like they all the colors kind of complement each other. Even Zoe, like the yellow and the purple, still kind of complement each other. So I wanted it all to fit together, and I was kind of struggling with the shirt, but I ended up just making it white. But in the end, I did add a design that says "Dudes for Dinner." Which I think that was a cool idea of me. I gotta give myself a little pat on the back for that one, because if you know anything about Wendigos, this is basically the only real research that I did on Wendigos, and I kinda knew this beforehand. And that was that Wendigos are like a creation, lore-wise, or like folklore-wise, from cannibalism. It's a curse you get if you resort to cannibalism in the wild, and then you turn into a Wendigo, and you turn into this ice-cold monster because you've eaten human flesh. So that's why I also thought this would fit very well together with Zoe, because not only does Zoe siphon the souls and screams and agony out of people during lunchtime, as we learned during the playthrough, but then we also have this Wendigo girl. just realized I don't have a name for her, but then she'll be eating the dude along with her because she's a cannibal. She's a cannibal. She eats humans. Sadly, however, then this is obviously just one picture. It's not like a lot of pictures that show the personality of the different monster girls and boys that were in the game. This is just one picture, so we can't really see the Wendigo girl. I'm just gonna call her the Wendigo girl because you guys can name her. But basically, because we don't have a lot of pictures, we can't show like all these different sides of her personality. I wanted to show off that she was more tomboyish, but right now we can only see that through like her clothing and the way she kind of looks. And we can't see it in her pose or in her body language, because right now she's scared. She's scared of water. The water's splashing up on her, and in the background, Polly's about to absolutely prank smash her with a water balloon. Which I thought was a nice touch. I was kind of considering not doing it because it did take a long time to actually do the drawing, so I was wondering if I should just call it cuts and stop there. But I realized that all these pictures had something funny, interesting going on, kind of like a picture in the middle of the chaos, and that's why I just wanted to make the picture feel like it captured a moment alive, which was what all these Polaroids in the end really did. It felt like captured snippets of a universe like outside the game that we didn't even get to see, and that's why the game kind of ended up feeling sort of shallow in comparison to like how deep the universe is. And even though like deep universe sounds like a word that should be reserved to like Bloodborne or something with like a lore deep universe or something, but it's just that you can feel that there's something going on, like off screen. You can really feel that with these pictures, and you can feel like the connections that these characters have with each other. And it's almost kind of like I said, it's like you don't even want another Monster Prom or anything, you just want a show. You want a cartoon show. I want a cartoon show of these characters all just going through their day, and with still the adult humor and everything. If someone would make that, I would be so happy. It feels like just an adult comedy show just for me, or just for my demographic at least, that I would really enjoy. Because I just love character designs. I love quirky character designs, and I love like seeing them all come into fruition, and I love good storytelling and writing and comedy. So I guess that's why this game had a surprising place in my heart. I did not expect to like it as much as I did, but gosh darn it, man, I really fell in love with Zoe. Nah, I'm just kidding. I know she's not real. It was sweet, Zoe, but I'll see you in another life. Maybe in a monster life, where I'll be a lesbian Wendigo girl, who is still unnamed, by the way. That's basically gonna be the last message of this video. I need you guys to give this character a name, so if you guys would write in the comments, because you guys have been mighty active in the comments lately, which I'm so happy about, but if you see this message at the end of the video, then tell me what you think I should name this character. And who knows, I might even announce, like pin my comment at the top, or even write in the description or something after what we decide to name this girl. And I think that could be a fun little, a fun little interaction between me and you guys. So get cracking. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching not only this video, but for the massive like support that I've gotten throughout the recent videos, especially on the Monster Prom playthrough. People seem to really enjoy that, and it makes me happy to see that people enjoy the same stuff as I do. So thank you so much for the support doing that, and thank you so much for watching this video as well. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.